an African booty scratcher. They said that I cannot speak on the foundational Black American movement because I'm married to a booty scratcher.
What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. Tasha K said FBA is like the KKK. Y'all done got Tasha K mad. Y'all done penetrated Tasha K's radar. And so Tasha K, when interacting with FBA, said that the FBA are like the KKK. And I think this is a perfect opportunity to articulate the difference between when an African American is having a discourse with continental Africans, with Caribbeans, when an African American is trying to fix relations with other Africans from other ethnic groups, when African Americans are trying to fix relations with other POC groups, that doesn't mean FBA is trying to do all of that. There's a different conversations being had, right? You have the two adults in the room, right? Which is the African American, the adult African American that has some issues with Caribbeans and continental Africans. And then you have some adults in the room, some Africans, right? And Caribbeans. There's three adults in the room, let's just say that, who have some issues with African Americans. Common sense African Americans understand that there's an issue with miscommunication between us and our brothers and sisters around the world, and vice versa. We have very mature and common sense Africans and Caribbeans and African Americans having a conversation trying to fix their problems, even if it gets heated, right? What you have is FBA creeping in the room where the adults are and inserting themselves in conversations they're not even intellectually and psychologically old enough to be having. And it muddies the water. That's why it's important for African Americans to articulate, right, and scream to the mountaintops that FBA does not represent African Americans. No matter how many FBA insist on marrying or believing that African American, FBA, and Black are interchangeable words. They are not. African American, Black American, Black. Black means African. Okay? African American, Black American, Black. That's us over here. FBA is I'll give them lineage. I'll give them lineage because they're a lineage-based cult of Tariq Nasheed's. Right? And so they went, and I guess they had a problem with Tasha K because her husband is African. So adult, and keep in mind, these are supposed to be adults, right? Full grown human beings who have jobs, who have lives, who buy houses, who supposedly successful, right? They decided to call Tasha K's husband an African booty scratcher. An African booty. They're disrespecting Tasha K's husband online by using attacks given to them by white supremacy. This is FBA. Just like I just made a video about this non-nana Afro-Pean, right? Right? Just straight mollywopped him and told his xenophobic, hateful business. I got FBA in the comment section saying, welcome to our side. I'm like, no. I've been standing here, and anybody who's been watching me, I've been standing here 10 toes down in the same position from the very first video. Unlike other content creators who you go back and see they done revives themselves over and over and over and over and over again, right? I've been exactly the same from the very beginning. And from the very beginning, I said I'm pan-African. I'm pro-Black. I'm pro-Black without conditions. I love the Black woman. She's priority. And I'm not going to generalize any group of Africans just because there's one or two Africans who are ignorant and hateful and xenophobic. Every time I come on this here YouTube, y'all see me banging on FBA, right? For all intents and purposes, I am holding my own African Americans accountable, those who subscribe to xenophobia and hate and immaturity and disunity for the sake of their egos and their emotional satisfaction to say, ooh, I got one. Same way with MAGA, right? They just gotta own the libs. They're willing to ruin and destroy their entire lives just say they can own the libs in their head, right? FBA is willing to ruin the elevation and unification of black people globally because they're still having immature conversations about name calling. These are adults. These are supposed to be adults. And then their leader, a 50-something-year-old man who still plays the dozens on the internet with people who's young enough to be his child. Imagine that. And that's your leader, Tariq Nasheed. Goes on the internet every day and shoots the dozens. He's a half 100. He puts Beijing on his hair trying to look 25. Wears his clothes like he's 25. Can't get his rhetoric to get to 25 because he still sounds like an old man. And somehow he impresses all these people. Now, I think most of his subscribers are probably around his age. A bunch of immature men who got to the 40s and 50s and never became men. Never became adults. They boys, but biologically they are males, adult, fully, functioning males, but they're not fully functioning adults. It's absolutely ridiculous and embarrassing how FBA conducts themselves. And that's why I spend so much time talking about you, because you guys are insisting on representing African Americans on the global scale. You guys are the worst people amongst us, and you guys are tricking other people who are casually using the FBA, not knowing the root of FBA. That's why I will never accept FBA. If you comply and you accept FBA, you have lost, because you have accepted a title given to you and created by xenophobic, hateful, ethno-nationalist white people who created these organizations in order to destabilize black unity, to slow it down, because it's not stopping. And the fact that Tasha K got to get on here and stop her normal, real celebrity junk, because she got the real celebrity junk, like she be up in there, right? Now you can say what you want about her, but now you're talking about her husband. That shows how immature that you are. Her husband is not a part of her show. She is the gossiper. If you got to talk some trash, talk about her. But no, you want to reach out and talk about somebody's husband and call him incendiary names to attack her for probably something that she said that was probably true about whoever she was talking about. And all of this is because of Tariq Nasheed. All of it. And we got every little cult leader creates a little cult group that defend their cult leader to the death of them with no rationale, no receipts, and with no conditions. They're just straight slaves to the person they admire the most. Umar Johnson had his little group like that, and unfortunately, he calls himself the Prince of Pan-Africanism, which he's not. Umar Johnson is a roving preacher who uses Pan-Africanism as his medium to take advantage of women who are single mothers, to take advantage of women who view him as a leader, as someone to follow, as a strong, powerful black man with his big, strong voice and his ability to articulate loudly and scream and name drop a bunch of legendary historians and freedom fighters to bolster his own reputation while wearing a dashiki. That one of those women with the single child he's supposed to be saving bought for him. That's who Umar Johnson is. Despite the fact that I agree with 99% of the stuff that he says. That's what he is in real life. Right? And they create little cults. And he got a little cult, small, but FBA is the big one. FBA is a big cult of idiots. When African Americans and Caribbeans, when the ethnic group of African Americans and the ethnic group of Caribbeans and the ethnicities of Africa are talking, when we're in the room talking, FBA needs to shut up. Because you're not a part of the conversation because you already disqualified yourself. Afropeans, like the Nana. When continental Africans are having discussions with Caribbeans and African Americans about our problems and how we treat them and how we unfairly treat them sometimes, Afropeans are not in the room. They're not in the discussion. These are for adults. These are adult conversations. I can watch somebody and tell if they're biased or not. I can watch somebody and tell if they have an agenda or not. Like when you watch me, you clearly see that I'm a real Pan-African. I'm pro every black, all black. If you a black unifier, I'm pro you. If you're a black disunifier, I'm anti you. You the enemy. And I've been consistent this whole time. Every time I find one or two Afropeans talking shit irrationally, because I even give them I understand that you got to clap back. Y'all see me make videos telling African Americans that these Africans and these Caribbeans are like us, and they will clap back like we do, and you should not be surprised, right? I have no problem. There's plenty of Africans clapback channels. I have no problem with African clapback channels, as long as they clapping back at who they're supposed to be clap back at. If you want to clap back at the ignorance amongst African Americans, they're called FBA. Say it, articulate it, make a clear distinction. You're talking about them, but once you start, because you mad at some FBA, you start to justify your jealousy and hate and envy of African Americans, and then you start talking shit all about African Americans, just because you mad at FBA for saying whatever they had said. That's when we got a problem, because now I know there's a deep-seated hatred inside of you that just need the FBA to pull out. You see, the Diaspora Wars has a bunch of immature Africans talking shit about each other, and both of them accusing the other of starting it. But not one of these groups can point to the video or the person that really truly started it, right? On the other side. Why? Because neither one of us started it. You know who started it? ABC, NBC, CNN, Fox, MSNBC. They started it. White people started it. Because every single bullet line of pain and hurt that we fling at each other was given to us in a picnic basket by white people. Every derogatory term an African American has ever called an African was taught to them in school, actual school. And then when they got home, it was burned to them in commercials and infomercials. That Africans are poor. Africans are, all of them got AIDS. Africans can't take care of themselves. Africans never accomplish anything. Africans are almost subhuman monkey barbarians. That's what we were taught. Listen, taught. We were taught that by the television and the radio and American educational system. Now in Africa, who teaches the African? The same white man, the British, the same television, the same radio owned by the same corporations, companies. And what did they teach the African about the African American? We gangster. We'll just kill you. We lazy. We don't want to work. We do everything to get out of being responsible. We're unfinished adults. We'll grape your mom as soon as we see her. As soon as we see your sister, we'll grape her. As soon as we see your daughter, we'll grape them. We want to murder you. We want to kill you. We want to do. That's what you guys were taught. You guys were taught that we were the worst type of African. You were taught that you need to come and replace us because you're better than us because we are damaged goods. That's what the white man taught you. So it's the white man who started it. And we got a group of black people on both sides of the Atlantic Ocean who are too afraid to confront the white man because they're still trying to get that butter biscuit that they see on that white man's plate. They figure their only route to success is through the institutions of the white man. Therefore, they must capitulate to the white man. They have to comply to the white man. They have to pacify the white man and say all the things that the white man likes to hear so that they can be a good nigga. We got African Americans doing that, Clarence Thomas. All of our black Republicans, right? So we have that over here, and then we have those Afropeans. I'm not a Pan-African who's naive to think that just because I'm a Pan-African, I'm gonna sit here and let some Africans and some Caribbeans talk shit about my ethnic group just because they feel like it. Unjustified. I'm not gonna do that. I have pride in my people. I have some of the most pro-black African American content on YouTube, but FBA don't see that. They don't get those videos. That don't pop into their algorithm because their algorithm is curated for hate. They only get the videos when they see me every now and then picking out an Afropean or a coon Caribbean to dump on when they do something wrong. They see the isolated moments to where I have to hold it down for my African-American ethnic group against those xenophobic, hateful individuals in the diaspora that mean to hold us down or suppress us or harm us. All of a sudden, they think I'm on their side. They don't realize I'm not on their side. They're supposed to be on my side, but they're not on my side. I'm on the battlefield. A lot of us are on the battlefield, and we're fighting on the battlefield. We know who the enemy is. We're trying to fight the enemy. We're trying to protect our community that's behind us. Then we got FBA coming on the battlefield, messing up the formation. Then you got Afropeans messing up the formation while we trying to battle the real enemy. We got y'all sending false flags. We got y'all friendly firing. We got y'all doing everything but fighting the enemy. Because you're too uneducated to realize that what you're doing is wrong. And you're too prideful to realize that you're too uneducated about the situation and you need to go elevate yourself. Telling somebody they need to educate themselves is like a disrespectful thing to them. Because they feel like they've reached the pinnacle of what it is they know. See, a dumb person think they know everything. They think they're super intelligent. They think that they can't learn another thing because their cup is full. A smart person knows he don't know much of anything and he just continues to learn because there's more to learn. That's the difference. A smart person knows how to go get the information even if he doesn't know the information. That's what a smart person does. A dumb person sits there and thinks he knows what he's talking about without looking it up because he's heard it one time before. And so, yeah, Tasha K, going after Tasha K, that's fine because she's in that celebrity junk talk trash type of, field. So it's okay. It's fair game to go after her. But when you go after her husband, who's not a part of her show, and then you attack his ethnicity as your first means to attack, that just shows how immature FBA is and how irrelevant they are and at the adult table. And why, if you are a casual user of FBA, you should probably reframe yourself because you are in fact guilty by association and you will not get any reprieve. Because FBA is not a real lineage. It is not recognized anywhere. It was made up by one fake failed pimp rapper. And that guy doesn't have the credentials to rename 50-something million African Americans who are just fine and proud to call themselves African American or Black American or Black. We don't need more terminologies and names that takes us away from our original and our origin. We are Africans who live in America. You can't get no more simpler and plain than that. That is exactly what we are. And I have no problem calling myself that because that is, in fact, what I am in real life. FBA is an online hate group that does not manifest itself outside of the internet unless Tariq Nasheed is throwing a pop-up event. Anyway, you guys tell me what you think in the comment section. This is Afro Think Tank. Learn something, teach something. I'm out.
An African booty scratcher. They said that I cannot speak on the foundational Black American movement because I'm married to a booty scratcher. Which they're entitled to their opinion. That's fine. That's totally fine. But here's what I think about the FBA movement and any other movement that has to do with Young Pharaoh, Brother Polite, Dr. Umar Johnson, all of these movements. In these movies, even Tariq Nasheed, ain't his wife like half white or something? Ain't Tariq Nasheed wife like half white? But here's what I would say about the FBA movement. It's no different than the KKK. Meant to divide, meant to separate you, to isolate you, to have you looking at other races that look like you. Y'all sitting in living rooms with bonnets on, causing division because you angry, trying to be accepted no different than a gang on gang crime when you got them little boys in Chicago or any other city taking each other out over what? Just because you look different, you said something, now we got adults actually doing this, which leads me to Young Pharaoh because a lot of people are shocked at his downfall.
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin?
Love me.
Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose?
Love me.
and the shape of your lips?
Love me.
Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet?
Free Sudan, boycott diamonds and gold. Free Sudan, boycott diamonds and gold. We most definitely cannot forget about the people of Sudan.
Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's pan-Africanism or nothing.